right, true believers, this is Mr. Miracle Comics, my channel. My name is Dave, and today we are going to go over 10 of the best performing books out of my videos so far. So I took a look back at what was going on in all the different spec picks that I had. Some have gotten really, really hot, and I just want to kind of bring it up and show you, where are we at with our buying our books here. So my first pick, I picked this book from like 7 months ago. And if you had bought this book 7 months ago, that would be Thor number 165, first full appearance of him. And 7 months ago, this book was honestly selling on eBay in very fine condition between the $100 to $150 mark. It has exploded a bit and is now in the same condition, selling for $200 to $300 in that same sort of very fine condition range, which is great. Double the money on our book, and it's an expensive book. This book has been going nuts, and I still think this book has a lot of potential left in it. It could definitely see a major, major rise as soon as Adam Warlock shows up in any kind of trailer or poster or leak screenshot or set shot or whatever. This book could really, really see a big, big jump. All right. So next on my list is the Fantastic Four, number 10. Right, so this book has a lot going for it. One, it is the round 12 cent. A lot of people are looking for that round 12 cent. That alone makes it a collectible. It is the third appearance of Doctor Doom. It is the first appearance of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby in Marvel Comics. And yeah, so this book has seen a phenomenal rise. It's like the biggest rising book on nobody's radar right now. FF number 10, when I spec booked on this 10 months ago, it wasn't easy to get, an upper mid-grade copy of this book for around $100. Now you're looking to pay around the $300 to $400 mark, and that's because of this guy, for sure. Being the third appearance of Doctor Doom, this book is starting to catch on to that, FF number 5 rise and starting to get pulled up with that book because of this third appearance of Doctor Doom in there. And fabulous, fabulous returns in this book already in just the first 10 months, and I still think this book has a lot of potential left. All right, so the next book on my list that I spec back, and I spec back about 8 months ago on this book, and that was Power Pack number 1. Yes, they laughed at me, Power Pack number 1, you're crazy. And I was finding these books in dollar bins all over the place, and I haven't seen one in a dollar bin for a while because this book shot up. It went from a dollar bin book to $15 to $20 book now, right? People have pulled them out of dollar bins. I've seen them go as high on, LCS Wall. There was one that was up that was for $60. It was a Canadian price variant, but for $60, and it actually sold within a week. It was gone. So people are really, really starting to spec on this book. It's really become a hot kind of property. It's been on the CBSI top 10 list now since that 10 months ago. So we've had a nice return from $1, looking now to a $15 to $20 book. 20 times your money back. Awesome. That's a great return on this book. Like I said, they laughed. Ooh, here I got the Canadian price variant there for you too. Awesome. Power Pack number 1. Okay, so the next book on our list is Bronze Age, Neil Adams, Batman number 251. So this book has seen a phenomenal rise in the last 10 months since I first spec'd on it. Back when I was first spec'ing on this book, it was looking in the $100 range for a very fine copy of this book. People were even sniping them out at, in the $80 range, $75 range for very fine copies. Not anymore. This book, again, has exploded. And very fine copies of this book are now going for $300-400. I've seen slab copies in the 7.5 range selling for over $600. Yeah, so this book is really, catching fire. And I mean, look at that cover. That's definitely deserves to be cover. It is iconic book. Fell under the radar for a long time. I think the Joker movie is one of those ones that are pulling it up. and a lot of people specking on it, saying that it was undervalued, including myself, has really helped to get the price of this book up. And again, I still think this one is going to be a super classic, always, and not going to lose value anymore, and would continue to rise. Awesome. So another 10-month ago book, a DC book that I spec'd on, was The Swamp Thing #1. So this is a very fine near mint copy of The Swamp Thing #1. Books in this books for this range of copy were going between the $50 to $80. 10 months ago, we now seen a serious rise in the price of this book, and very fine, copies are now going for around the $100 to $150 range. A lot of it based on the DC streaming movie show that came out. Unfortunately, not everybody knew what was going to happen, and parts of episodes got canceled, and the season got shorted, and then it was canceled. So it's kind of hurt the price of this book, but it's still it has at least doubled in value since in the last 10 months. All right, so the next book on my list, I spec'd on this book 9 months ago. It's another DC book, and that is The Omega Men #3, first appearance of Lobo. Everybody and their dog has this book now. When I spec'd on it 10 months ago, you could have found this book for the $15 to $20 range in near mint condition. Near mint copies of this book now are selling in the $60 to $80 range. So yeah, we've definitely seen a big return on this book. Lobo ended up on a television show, Krypton, and this book has seen quite a nice spike, especially in the last few weeks. A lot of that price spike has come from there, and a lot of people are grabbing it up. You will not find this in dollar bins anymore. It'll be hard to find for under $50. Definitely was one to grab up, and I think I even put, grab this book now before it's too late. And then Lobo suddenly showed up in a television show, and this book really spiked. So, nice return on this book, but we're looking at least, 2 to 3 times, if not more, return on our investment. Also a book that was on the CBSI Top 10 list. Another book that was on the CBSI Top 10 list, and just recently as a matter of fact, and that's Giant Size Defenders #3. So I spec'd on Giant Size Defenders #3 about 9 months ago. I was telling people to buy it. At that point, very fine books were going for around $15. Once it hit the CBSI Top 10 list and more of those Korvac rumors started coming out, sorry, this is the first appearance of Korvac, we were starting to see this book rise up into the $60 to $80 range at some points. Now, there are people that'll snipe them out and get them for cheaper and stuff like that, but on average, this book has seen a significant rise, either quadrupling or tripling in price since I last spec'd on it. So it would have been a nice one to have for a good return into your collection, buying it at the time that I asked you to do it. All right, so next book, another Bronze Age, and this one was a dollar bin diver, and that is The Micronauts #8, first appearance of Captain Universe. So this book has seen a rise. I used to find this book in dollar bins all over the place. I haven't seen one in a dollar bin in quite a few weeks. When I spec'd on this book, it was a dollar bin diver. I found this in the dollar bin. I paid $1 for it. You can easily, at the time, you could have easily found a copy for yourself. If not for $1, definitely under $5. Not anymore. This book is now taken off in quite a bit of ways and is easily fetching over $20. Right, in very fine near mint condition, will be fetching, around $20. So if we paid $1 for it, and now we're getting 20 times our money back for it, good spec pick. Right? Maybe we're not going to ever see this book as a $300 book, but definitely like to see it at a $20 book, especially if you only paid $1 for it. Awesome. So this one was a huge riser, this next one, and it was a bit of a surprise, but not really. I kind of figured this might happen just based on a few things that Kevin Feige was saying, and that book is from the Copper Age, and it is the Thor 390. Right, so this is the first time that we see Captain America wield Mjolnir. Whew. And this book took off like a mad shot right before Endgame, right? Kind of has fallen back a little bit since then. But when I spec'd on this book, it was a $1 to $5 book. You could get this book for almost nothing, and it quickly took off, flying in, right before Endgame, looking around the $50 mark, and even up to the $80 mark. People were paying for this book. It's fallen back a little bit, but still, people are asking and paying routinely over $20 for this book. Right, this book is now going to probably sit permanently somewhere in that $20 to $30 range. People might be paying more for near mint ones, definitely more for slab copies. And yeah, so it was a really smart pick of me just to kind of think, that one might hit based on what was happening in the book, and it did. All right, so if you grabbed it when I told you to grab it, you would have seen that big rise, and you would have got a big smile on your face watching that you paid, less than $5 for this book or so. All right, so that was a great riser. And here's a book that's been on, it's going to rise, and it is going to shoot up. It's still a little time before this book is going to go crazy. But the first time we see Red Guardian in a commercial for Black Widow, I'm thinking this book is going to go ballistic again, right? So this is Avengers number 43, first appearance of the Red Guardian. Red Guardian has been confirmed for the Black Widow movie. Everybody's sure there's David Harbour playing him. This book has doubled in price. When I was buying this book, it was a $30 book in upper mid-grade, and now it is a $70 book, right? Or, people paying as much as, $90 for this book now. But that's going to change. That's going to even go up further. This is just the beginning of the spec on this book. And yeah, it's still, I feel if you can snake a good copy for yourself at a half decent price, that you could, still find some good value here in this book. Yeah, good pick. Whenever we double our money in a price, I like to see that. You're definitely going to get that kind of performance from a stock. Doubling in value in just a few months, and with the potential to continue to go up higher and higher and higher as the Black Widow movie comes closer and closer to being released, right? We're going to see some commercials, we're going to see Red Guardian, we're going to see David Harbour dressed up as him, and I think that this book is going to take off again. Plus, it's got a great floating heads cover there. Awesome. Okay, so we definitely want to see our books, doubling and tripling in price, especially if they're really expensive books. If you get a $150 book that's doubling in price, that's a nice addition to your collection for sure. Just trying to show you a little bit about, why we're trying to do what we're trying to do here with this channel, right? Get you in, get that book into your collection long before it blows up, right? There's no sense. Well, I mean, there is a sense to it, but I mean, if you buy Batman 251 now, you are definitely going to pay way more, and you're not going to realize the same profits. What I want you to do is buy it when nobody's paying attention to it, when the spec guys haven't even paid attention to it, when Key Collector doesn't even know about it, right? Yet. I bought lots of books that are keys that Key Collector hasn't had listed, and I had them in my collection, and all of a sudden 3 months later I get an alert from Key Collector. Oh, this book is undervalued. Yeah, I know. I already have it, right? But, not to say the Key Collector is a bad app. I use it all the time. It's a fantastic app to have for as a collector. But, I'm just trying to show you, let's try and get these books before everybody else does, right? You want to be the first guy to buy it, not the last guy. Right? You want to have that book in your collection when shit gets hot. You want to have that book in your collection already before it shows up on the CBSI Top 10 Hot List. Okay, so that's been 10 undervalued books that have performed well over the last, since I started my channel. This has been another video by Mr. Miracle Comics. My name is Dave, reminding you that a day without comic books is like night. I'll see you next video.